Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I've got a little bit of a mod project to do here. I don't know if you can call this a mod. Some people might get mad if I call it modifying a knife, because I'm not, regrinding it or anything. In my books, this is a mod. I'm doing a scale swap with these Cerberus Knives, red linen micarta Doppler pattern scales. See if I can get that to focus. Come on, there we go. I'm going to throw these onto my Cutlery Shoppe exclusive Wharncliffe Paramilitary 2, which is kind of fitting because I got these, the knife and the scales, independent of one another. Chris from Cerberus gave me these last time I saw him to try out, since I hadn't tried any of his PM2 scales yet, which was really cool of him. I'll link to Cerberus Knives down below. But I bought this, the PM2, from Cutlery Shoppe when they dropped. And Cutlery Shoppe now carries Cerberus scales, so it's kind of fitting that these are coming together. And I like that that has happened because Chris from Cerberus is a buddy, and Jeff from Cutlery Shoppe is a buddy. So it's cool to see that they've kind of paired up a little bit, and now these are going to be a thing together more often. So on the table, I've got just a couple of things. I didn't even mean for this to be here. It's just still on my mat. Shout out Millie, PM2, Para 3 Club. Jeff from Cutlery Shoppe actually sent me this flight tag thing as well. So very cool of him. I can't tell if I'm focusing or not. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so on here I have some drivers. I've got T10, T8, and T6. In case I need one to work from the other side, I've got this set as well. I've had this set for forever now. I like that set. I got a new driver set sent to me from Kevin, Lefty EDC, that I opened earlier today, and I was excited to use it, but the torque spits in it start at T10 and go up to T15, then T20, then T25. So I guess I could use it just for the pivot, but that seemed weird to bring out a whole set that I could just use one bit from, and then I wouldn't be able to use it on the rest of the knife. So anyway, this is a T10, right? Yeah. So we've got T10 for the pivot. That's all I'll need that for. T8s for the body screws, here and here, here and here. And then the clip screws are going to be T6s. You'll see this is still the way it comes out of the factory packaging. They ship PM2s from Spyderco still for some reason in the right-hand tip-down configuration. And I'm willing to bet that at least 80% of PM2 users immediately swap that to tip up because most of us prefer it. But anyway, I carried this knife a couple of times with it tip down just to see how it went. And I mean, it worked. It went in my pocket. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take the clip off first. There's one screw, two screws, three screws. Doesn't look like there's Loctite really on any of these. Maybe a tiny bit down on just that last thread or two. Go ahead and set this aside. I've got a bunch of factory Spyderco clips laying around that I mean, I've got no reason to get rid of, but don't really use anymore. All right, so screws are out. I do have some Lynch extra screws here as well in case I need longer ones. I've run into that before with aftermarket scales. Sometimes you do need the longer ones. All right, now we're going to go ahead and set the T6 aside because I won't need that again until it's time to put the new clip on. So let's do body screws next. This is always the part where it's like I might need another driver on the other side if this goes wrong, because these can just start free spinning the way that they're put together. Please work. Nope. Oh, I think I got it. It's going to be really lucky if I did. I usually have to use two drivers on that, but I don't want to unless I have to. Now that one's just spinning that, isn't it? Dang it. Let's see if I can use my finger to... Nope. All right, we're going to have to come back to that when the knife is open. Let's go ahead and get this one off so the whole thing can come clean apart. There we go. Let's see if I get lucky on this one. Nope, that's spinning in there too. So, okay. All right, let's get this pivot out of here. Pivot screw number 1. This mat, by the way, is from B. Weiss Leather. And Brandon from B. Weiss is a really cool dude. He makes awesome leather products. People ask me every now and then what mat I use. This one's one of the Millie PM2 Para 3 Club ones that he made. But great mat. I really, really like having this little notch up here to set things into. All right, so from here, we are able, to start coming apart. Oh man, that is tightly on there. Just the thing coming up. I do have this Sharp Dress Knives lanyard tube removal. Right, sorry about that. I'm not sure where that cut off. My camera stopped recording because apparently I ran out of card space, which is annoying. I should have just cleared my card before this. So I deleted some stuff off of here. Anyways, I'm going to jump back in. I'm not sure where it cut off. So where I'm at right now, I have the blade out, the washer's out, the clip off obviously. The scales are separated. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and use the lanyard plug removal tool. This is from Sharp Dress Knives. He makes these, and they definitely make things easier. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can't pop out the lanyard just using this guy. Should be good, I think. I can already tell I'm quite separated off of there. Yes. All right, so that came right off. Easy peasy. Fighting with the lanyard tube can be a big bummer sometimes, so I really like having this tool. Put some torque on it. That's starting to come up now. Let's see if I can get a better position to hold this. Alright, we're almost out now. There we go. Lanyard tube is removed. Now a lot of the time when I'm doing a project like this, I like to have a replacement set of hardware that doesn't have a flared lanyard tube. I didn't do that this time because I'm just keeping the hardware satin, so it seemed like, why should I need to get a different set of hardware just to have more satin hardware, you know? Anyway, so we're gonna see if I can get lucky on this. I might need to grab a set of pliers to pinch down on this guy. See if I'm lucky on this one at least. Man, nope. All right, I gotta grab my pliers and I forgot to grab them, so give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. I don't know if this is the best way to do this, but these are just like relatively crappy multi-tool pliers. What I like to do when I get stuck on one of these is literally just put some kind of protective like fabric over the thing that I gotta hold down. And then I hold it down pretty tightly and Usually that will allow me to get enough torque on it. I can't tell. Maybe it's just spinning in there still. It must be. Try that again. Get a tighter grip on it. That's not loosening at all, is it? Well, that sucks. I might have to heat that because I can see quite a bit of Loctite in there, but I wish I didn't have to. Try it on this screw just to see if we can get lucky on at least one of them. Oh yeah, that one was easy. So there's the spacer, if you will, and yeah, that's just a lot of Loctite in there. Crazy. Let's give it one more shot on this one. Get that without the liner on there. One less thing to get in my way. Alright. Wish me luck. How is that not working? Goodness. I'm going to try one other thing before I resort to heat. That's my T10. Keep my T8 here. Take another T8. I'm going to screw the other side into that. See if that'll allow me to get this side loose, and then maybe I can get the other side loose. Let's see, where's my T8? There we go. So, I'm going to take a body screw, and I'm going to screw it into here. It's always the part I hate about using two drivers, is like figuring out how to hold it up. Oh, that's just loosening the same side again. Alright, give it one more try with the rag. This is just a deerskin chamois, by the way. It was recommended to me for sharpening, to hold the blade kind of in the vise, if you will. And I like it for that. It's worked great in that way. But I also find it's nice for just random stuff like this. Come on. Oh, yes, we've done it. All right. Hooray. So, do a quick little inventory. Make sure I've got all my parts. I have the short standoff. I have the stop pin standoff. There's the pivot, which has some Loctite in it as well. There's the tube. We've got pivot screw, body screw, body screw, body screw, body screw, and 3 clip screws. Great. 2 washers, blade. We have everything. All right, friends, we're doing it. Now, let's go ahead and start getting these put together. So, oh sweet, yeah, that liner fits right into there nicely. Let's make sure this liner, yep, fits right into there. Perfect. These I won't need anymore. I'll keep these around. Always nice to have a black set of G10 PM2 scales. Maybe at one point I'll decide to murder out my Scorpion PM2 or something. I don't know. Let's go ahead and I think what I'm going to do is kind of lock this side in by getting a body screw onto this guy. That way it'll hold everything together for me. Okay, that's on there. I might as well start this one on top of that. Great, so those are in place. Now I'm going to, oh sweet, yes, that sets in easily now. It's got room because these have a little more clearance than the G10, so I'm not gonna have to worry about pressing that down in. I was not looking forward to that. Great, great, great. All right, now let's go ahead and I'm gonna just go ahead and get the pivot started. So I'm gonna take this guy and this guy, and we're gonna just get the pivot on there to where it started. It's obviously just hand tight at the moment. I'm not doing anything crazy. Grab my T10. Okay, that's snug but not insane, as is everything else on here right now. So here's what I'm gonna do now. Sweet, that's functioning. Let's put a tiny dab of KPL here and here. Just gonna leave the cap off of that. I'm gonna take, oop, I did a bad thing. I needed to have that on there before I tightened that pivot down. All right, we're going back. There we go. And the pivot is actually keyed. It should be keyed on that side. I just realized I need to make sure I put the right side on here. Should just be this guy. Can you tell yet that I am a rookie? Alright, let's get this started up. There we go. Alright, that's on there. Put a little more KPL here, and kind of up the tube, if you will, on the pivot itself. Alright, now that that's on there, I can go ahead and set that right down there. Great. Great, great, great. And from there, a little bit of KPL. Bada bing, bada boom. This onto there. I can see already that this D shape is not in the right spot right now. That should be enough to get it lined up. And plop this onto there. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to put a tiny bit of KPL here. I don't know how necessary that is, but I like to do it. Just in case, I suppose. Just gonna hold this together. Feels like I'm a little bit outside of that D shape where I need to be. So I'm just gonna keep some pressure here. Kind of wiggle this a little. Something has gone wrong here. I want that deep right at the bottom. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start threading the pivot. Okay, that's started. Let's get these other body screws started in here. Whoa. That was not in the right spot. Let's see if it is now. There we go. Now I can tell already I'm going to need to use a tool on either side of that. That's crazy, I'm not far off center yet. All right, so I've got two T8s here and here now. There we go. Tight there. Move this up to where you can see it a little better. There. This is wobbling a little bit, this lanyard tube back here, so I may... Actually, the clip going on will probably help that. That's crazy. I got a tiny bit of blade play. Let's see. That brought me off center. Where am I at now? Better. Centered. Let's get the clip on, see if that fixes this rattle back here with the lanyard tube. It should, because it'll tighten this down. All right, this satin clip I think is going to be perfect for this, just based on it all being satin hardware on there still. I like to do this thing with lynch clips where I get them started with the hardware before I put them on, but I'm going to save myself the headache of doing it to all of them, and I'm going to make sure that this screw, oh, dang it, that these clip screws are, that they reach deep enough to get the threads. Otherwise I'll use some of the longer screws. Spot it down in there. Yeah, it goes on. All right, I'll loosen that a hair. Make sure I can get the other ones on in. one's started. No, that one's just spinning. So apparently my fears are correct. These screws need to be a little longer. So let's just go ahead and use some longer ones, shall we? Take those off there. And here, I've got 1, 2, 3 longer ones. Yeah, those are noticeably longer. That should be good. All right. Oh, that's weird. Those are just like hex screws? What in the world? Yeah, that's hex instead of Torx. And my T6 doesn't even fit in it. That's real weird. That's not what I need. Let me see if I've got a bit that fits that. Might be this. Nope, that's too big, so I don't have a hex that fits it. Maybe like a T5 will fit it. Yeah, T5 gets it. Oh, that's a T8 that's in here. Was I using my T6? Am I a crazy person? Yeah, I was. Okay, so I need the T5 on here. This is some bootleg stuff happening at this point. There's one. Where'd my other 2 long ones go? I'm gonna get at least these 2 side ones that are a little harder to kind of line up in the clip first, and then I'll set them on here. That doesn't feel right. No, it goes. Let me look in there though. Oh yeah, that screw's way too long. That comes out on the other side. It's always something. All right, I'm gonna get these off and see if I can find some other screws sitting in my drawer to make this easier. So bear with me for another moment. All right, so I grabbed this baggie. You may have seen this recently from when I was doing my shaman scale swap. I have some just kind of miscellaneous hardware in here. It's just becoming my hodgepodge of hardware. But there are screws in here that came off of my shaman that were too short for the shaman, but I think will work just fine on here. They should be a little shorter than that. They are. Great. So I want to use that, and is that the same one? No, this is like sorting screws now. There's 2 of them. That should be the 3 right there, I think. Make sure they've all got Torx. Nope, that one's an Allen. Is that what I want? That one's longer. So these are the screws I just took off. Those are a little shorter. Don't need that one. I think it's these 3 that I want. Yeah, those are all Torx, and they're the length that I would prefer. So get that out of here. Let's try this on for size. Where's my T6? Here it is. started can be the trick, as you can see. Nope, come on. There we go. I almost just put them on the wrong side of the knife, didn't I? Okay, there's one started. Good. Those don't really stick out in the inside of the knife. And they reach the threads, so they feel right to me. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Great. How are we on centering? We're slightly, just a hair off. That did get rid of the rattle, which is nice. A little bit of blade play. Pretty tight on the pivot. Oh, now I'm real tight. Shows you how close, or how thin of a line it is between blade play and too tight. There we go. Centered. Dropping. Yeah, dropping. Okay. All right. It is assembled. As far as PM2s go, I feel like that was actually not that crazy, especially for reusing the factory hardware. I find it's happened before, where when I've used factory hardware on a Spyderco, like a Para 3 or a PM2, it can be kind of difficult putting it back together. I feel like the scales actually make it a decent bit easier. The difference is they do appear to be a slightly different thickness than the factory scale, which is why you need that different clip hardware. I think Chris from Cerberus sends these with hardware. I just got these from him in person, hanging out with him. So it's very possible that I just didn't get them because he was just like said, here, take these kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty easy. Those screws, I think, are the factory ones that came out of my Shaman. So they're just a little bit longer. But yeah, the knife is together. The clip is on. It's functioning. And now my Wharncliffe PM2 has a whole new look and feel to it. I will be doing my full review on this knife soon. So in that, I'll talk in depth about these scales a little bit more, and you can see some more of my thoughts on them. But I already know that I really like Cerberus scales. I like his linen micarta. I have them on. I have linen micarta on my worker Para 3, and it's great. It's finished really well. It feels good in hand. These have this Doppler pattern, so it's kind of like a circular pattern originating at the pivot and then continuing through. Kind of looks like ripples almost. And I think it looks sweet. I'm really happy with this, and I like it better than I did before putting them on. So this will be good. I'm looking forward to it, but the knife is assembled. So the next time you'll see these will be in the full review of this Wharncliffe Paramilitary 2 from Cutlery Shoppe, and that should come soon. So thanks for checking it out, guys, and bearing with me while I dealt with how ridiculous this was. But that's kind of to be expected on a PM2 at this point. It's not always a walk in the park getting them disassembled and put together. So anyways, we'll see you on the next one.